Alright, just kidding. Welcome back. So, a bunch of people are dead. Ooh. Shit. Damn. Updated. That's the same. That's the same. Okay, that's all the same. Damn. Alright. Yeah, so Krause is dead. Corpse found inside the Rose Garden storehouse. The direct cause of death is unknown, but it seems the side of his head was smashed after his death. How do we know that? Duh. We start where it all begins. Who is talking, bitch? Corpse found inside the Rose Garden storehouse. The direct cause of death is unknown, but it seems the side of his head was smashed after his death. Corpse found inside the Rose Garden storehouse. His face seems to have been smashed after his death. He has the right to limit his ill fortune. Truly. Corpse found inside the... Is this the demon? It's not the demon, excuse me. Is this the killer's, like, thoughts? We start where it all begins. He has the right to limit his ill fortune. Her face seems to have been smashed after her death. She was chosen by the demon's roulette. That's all there is to it. Oh. Who is I? Ah, ooh, spooky. I'll be seeing her again, so I'm not lonely. Is it Maria? I'll be seeing her again, so I'm not lonely. Is Maria writing this? Because she's kind of... Okay. Corpse found inside the Rose Garden storehouse. It seems the side of her head was smashed after her death. Don't worry, everyone will be revived in the gold. How unfortunate. Apparently he was actually supposed to be on duty in the guest house. Yeah, that's really what's throwing me off, is all the servants got moved to the guest house. And she was in the mansion, and he was in the mansion. Okay, fuck it. All that could be heard was the sound of the rain, the voices from the kids' television program that Maria was watching. And they engrossed Maria's cackling voice. Oh my god, her mama is dead. In other words, what greeted them as they returned dumbfounded from that horrible, bizarre scene was the voice of Maria as she rolled around laughing at the television. Oh my goodness. Not knowing how to explain to Maria that her mother Rosa was dead, those who returned to the room couldn't manage any more than a suffocating silence. Jesus. At first, Maria returned their stares with a dubious look. But when she realized that they weren't trying to blame her for anything, she ignored them and again immersed herself in the television program. The children wordlessly sat down on the sofa. Their minds were probably blank from their state of shock. Though they had all cried and mourned so much, now they just vaguely sat there, their faces expressionless. Only Cannon had returned to his usual calm expression. However, that probably didn't mean he had been able to wipe out the shock. Nothing was reflected in his eyes as he stared into the emptiness. Hideyoshi, fidgeting as he remembered that horrible scene, kept muttering. Unbelievable. That can't be something of this world. It's the work of the devil. Every once in a while, he turned these into questions and bounced them off Nanjo. Nanjo's like, what? Nanjo... But Nanjo, in a calm, doctorly manner, kept repeating that nothing could be understood by only glancing at the scene. I'm watching your ass, bro. And that, until the police arrived, he wouldn't know anything. Okay. However, Nanjo only appeared calm by comparison to Hideyoshi, who could not contain his agitation and fear. In fact, Nanjo had also received a huge shock, and his face was deathly pale. Bruh, why is she so calm? Maybe it was because of their attitudes that Natsuhi tried to rise to the challenge and take control. Natsuhi was apparently unchanged from her normal attitude, and she briskly gave directions. Like, you were freaking out at literally everything, bro. Someone needs to go with her. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, she's second. You're like 11th or something. Natsuhi was struck speechless by Ava's aggressive actions in a situation like this. It's not even personal. It's like, there are 6 people dead. I'm sorry. It seemed like she was claiming that with Kraus dead, the one to take responsibility should not be his wife. It's not that deep. But herself, the next highly ranked in the family. Possibly, she was not happy that Natsuhi was ignoring her and handling matters herself in this extreme situation. Of course, even Ava's mind had been blank from the shock until just now. Can you tell I just woke up? She only returned to herself after Natsuhi started giving orders. Natsuhi walked out without saying anything more. Ava followed behind her. Mere moments after they left, Kumasawa ran into the parlor. Where have you been? Since she wasn't the kind of person to run around, it would be normal to sense that something had happened. But since everyone had been stricken by that earlier shock, none of them took any notice of this trivial difference. What do you have to report, bitch? I'm sorry, this is a dire situation. Oh. Sorry. If everyone is accounted for, everyone in the parlor turned to listen. Everyone thought the same thing. They were killed in the dining hall? Oh, I hope I misheard that. So were they killed in the dining hall and then brought to the shed? And where they were mutilated, right? Because it said... we don't know how he died, but the side of the head was smashed after his death. Alright. Why smash the head after the death? Just like how any container hang on. Why smash the head after the death, if not to conceal the method of death? Because we don't know how these people died. Even the doctor looked at them and was like, we don't know how they died. Just like how any container has a limit to how much you can put in it, no one felt like they could accept any more tragedies beyond what had already happened. So they all thought it. I hope I misheard that. Shokuro. The first to start running was George. His harsh footsteps jogged Hideyoshi and Nanjo to their senses, and they chased after him. Battler and the others followed. They flew into the dining hall one after another, but they didn't find any change that would have caused Kumasawa to go pale. To those who had viewed that gruesome scene in the storehouse, it was a bit of an anticlimax. Oh, yeah, they literally just saw all the dead bodies. So, like, this was some blood about to be. However, Kumasawa, who had followed them, pointed it out. This is before the 90s, so they don't even know what DNA is. Oh my god. I mean, they probably know what it is, but, like, they don't have, like, you know, DNA evidence. DNA typing. There really were some traces of blood on the floor. I don't know when PCR was. It doesn't matter. Compared to that terrible scene, it was not very dramatic. However, if you calmly thought about it, this definitely indicated the loss of a lot of blood.
ここにも血だまりがあるよ。これは一体
Killed in the dining room. That's what I thought. It happened in the mansion. So they put all the servants in the guest house to, like, throw the suspicion off the servants. Because the killer was in the motherfucking mansion. I don't know where the servants were, like, confirmed either. So, like, bruh. There's a lot of holes. A lot of holes in that it could be anybody, is what I mean. Like, any, bruh. No shit. Sorry. And then Ava and Hideyoshi left early. I remember that. It could have been anybody, bro. Like, no one has no real alibi except the motherfucking cousins. Y'all said midnight, right? Okay. I'm on the case, bitch. And y'all didn't hear nothing? Mm-hmm. Bro. And you need to back up. Yeah, that was funny, wasn't it, by the way? I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry, bro. It's... You at least have a living parent. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. And you... That's fair. This is your house, so this cannot be easy for you either. Like, having your home uprooted and now no longer a safe place has got to be pretty frightening. Do not trust this bitch. I'm sorry. All of us together. Okay.
秀吉おじさん、この部屋は多分警察にとって重要な意味があると思います。俺たちが踏み荒らしちまうのはまずいんじゃないですか。
Absolutely. Battler proposed this in a slightly powerful voice, as together with Cannon, he grabbed the pail and shaking Jessica's shoulders. Damn.
バトラさんの言う通りですな。この部屋にこれ以上好んで居続けることはありますまい。
Like, imagine it being in the 80s and the police have to, like, fucking scrape this place with fingerprints. Like, and they're all family. Like, it's not gonna, bruh. Nonjo spoke while looking at the pale faces all around. Even though that horrible scene in the storehouse had felt like something not of this world, at least it was in a place far from here, a place we had been able to cut ourselves off and run away from, which had helped everyone to keep on going. However, this dining hall was different. It was in the mansion's main wing. And as Jessica had said, it was supposed to be one of the more relaxing places within the mansion. It was the same place where all of the relatives had enjoyed lunch and dinner yesterday. I was so happy yesterday. The shock of seeing this place smeared with blood reminded us of that horrible spectacle in the storehouse, and forced us to accept that we really hadn't been oh my god, Archer, please. That we really hadn't been able to run away from the scene of that tragedy. You can sit on this side.
わしも同感や。この部屋には犯人の痕跡が残ってるかもわからんしな。
No shit.
素人のわしらがかき回すべきとちゃうで。
I'm glad you're on board.
はよ出るんや。はよはよ。
Okay. Hideyoshi also understood the meaning of what Battler had said 2 whole minutes ago and pushed everyone to hurry out of the dining hall. The way we were then, looking at that blood any longer would have been too harsh. Nobody went against his words. Everyone raced each other out of the dining hall, almost as though the last person in the room would be trapped in there all alone. Yeah, shut that door. Shut it. In the parlor, and no one fucking leaves. Once in the hallway, we went, like, if I were running this shit dead ass, no one would fucking leave, bro. No one. We're all staying in this room for the next 24 motherfucking hours. Once in the hallway, we lent a shoulder to Kumasawa, who was leaning against the wall, still trembling, and we all headed back to the parlor together. Then Genji returned from calling the police, right?
お、源氏さん。警察に連絡はつきましたか？それが。
Bruh, see? And listen, if the motherfucking butler did it, of course he wouldn't be able to call the fucking police. If the servants were in on it, the police are not getting called.
無線機の故障か、それ以外の理由によるものかわかりませんが。
The emergency radio is dead? I'm telling you, it's bullshit.
なんや、警察に連絡がつかんのか。
The radio that was set up for moments like this, when all the power is out, and the power works, so stop lying.
電話も無線もどっちもダメなんか。
See, it's bullshit. See, someone needs to go with these people. I'm sorry. That is way too motherfucking long. Is that tomorrow morning? Because it's the second day.
この島には船はないんか。新島の警察署までちょっくら行ってくることはできんのか。
I would honestly risk it. I really would. I don't want to be on this damn island. I would do it, bro. I don't give a shit. We getting on that damn boat. It is a killer on the loose. You lost your damn mind. That's crazy. I'm sitting on that damn boat.
クラウス様のボートは今修理中で島にございます。
Oh my god, bitch.
ですので月曜の船を待つほかないか。
Why are you looking to the right? Like you fucking lying, bro. Or the left.
そんなアホな話があるか。
He's over here, bitch.
6人も死んだやで。そして電話も無線も通じず船もない。
See, this is giving me that he don't really know what's going
台
on.
風が過ぎて船が来るまで、つまり明日の朝までわし
Well,
ら
I
は
don't
警察に
know.
も連絡できず、この島におれっちゅうことなんか。
I'm kind of tired of him repeating everything that people just said. So that's either for my benefit or he's playing dumb. I might be reading too much into it.
俺たちだけじゃなく、おじさんたちを殺した犯人もこの島から出られず足止めってことだな。
I'm telling you, I'm getting off this damn island.
そういうことになるね。みんなを殺した犯人はまだこの島にいる。
He might have just been repeating it for my benefit, honestly. Oh my god. Yes! What do y'all not understand about this situation? Maybe they're just in shock, sorry. Mm.
私がこの手でやっつ先にしてやる。
Mm. Poor girl. Oh my god, did anyone even tell her? Fuck! Maria had finally realized that something was odd in the parlor. Or rather than noticing something odd, it was probably better to say that she felt unhappy and neglected since everyone was getting excited about something only she didn't know about. That's so real.
ジェシカお姉ちゃん、誰か死んじゃったの？
Did someone die? The way she spoke was completely calm. You know, if anyone knows anything about Beatrice, it's this girl. And she knows that epitaph, so she's probably like, it's fine. Just as though she was talking about characters in a TV drama, as though it didn't affect her at all. Jessica probably didn't like that. Uh-oh. As though trying to say, can't you tell just by looking at me, overwhelmed with grief? She flared up against Maria.
死んじまったぜ。みんな。
Oof.
私の親父も、トトラの父さんと母さんも、コウダさんもシャノンも、そしてマリアの母さんも。
You need to chill out just a little bit. I get you're upset, but just a little bit.
よすんだジェシカちゃん。
Yeah. You need to
悲
relax.
しいのは君だけじゃない。
マリアさん、ショックだろうが聞いてください。あなたのお母さんがな、死んでしまいました。
Jesus.
ママが死んじゃった？
ああ、
Ooh.
誰かに殺されちまった。悲しいだろうがよ。心をしっかり。
I would not. I.
犯人死んじゃった？
She's gonna do some witch math.
6人だぜ。6人だ。くそ。あんな残酷なことしやがって。踊ってもんがあるだろうがよ。人間ならよ。誰だか知らねえが、犯人は人間じゃねえぜ。血の色が赤いわけがねえ。
You know what's worse, Jessica? Is probably someone you freaking know.
犯人は人間じゃない。
It's the witch,
恥が
right?
選んだ。生贄なだけ。
The six chosen by the whatever it is, right? Whatever, we'll get to it.
おい、マリア、今、なんて言った？
Maria had just said something, but since the words were so remotely separated from the flow and context of the conversation, for a second I couldn't understand them. As I was about to ask her to repeat it, I was shocked by the sudden sound of Aunt Natsuhi's loud voice coming from the entrance to the parlor. It looked like Aunt Natsuhi and Auntie Ava had returned from their trip to see grandfather. Yeah, give me a report.
無線でも連絡できない？こんな時に使えなくて何のための防災無線ですか？
That's what I'm saying.
申し訳ございません。毎年保守点検はさせているはずなのですが。
You are bullshitting me, bro.
ほら、光をチカチカさせるみたいな船舶信号ってあるじゃない？
See, again, she's trying to get off this
そういう
shit.
ので向こうの島に連絡することはできないのかしら？
そのような設備はございません。申し訳ございません。
Bro, I'm slapping the shit out of Genji. I truly am. I'm sorry, but I need you to figure something out. Just then, Kumasawa came pushing a serving cart loaded with breakfast. I'm hesitant to even eat. Since there was no way we would be able to eat in the dining hall, Hideyoshi had ordered her to bring it to the parlor.
なぜ朝食をこちらに？
Girl.
ああ、夏樹さん、それは後で話す。それよりエヴァ、お父さんはどうなんや？
Yeah, that's...
ご
Yeah.
一緒でないところを見ると、このような事態になっても部屋から出ませんか。
Doesn't Natsuhi have the key to his room?
いないわ。
He isn't there, like, at all,
部屋は
right?
空っぽだったのよ。
Yeah. Aha!
なんやってこんな時にどこ行ったんや
Okay, two things. Either he left, right, between the time that Nazi he saw him and Ava's went up there. Or option B, he was never motherfucking in there. Because why the fuck would he say all that nice ass shit to Nazi? That doesn't make any goddamn sense. Sorry. We're getting into it. Where did he fucking go?
親方様が書斎を出られたというのですか。
And I don't need you to say anything, okay?
そうです。
I'm sorry.
私も驚いています。
I'm
いつの間に部屋を出たのやら。あなたたちに心当たりはないのですか？
do you? Natsuki looked at Genji and Kanon as she said this. I don't trust nobody. She probably thought that the servants permitted... Jesus. She probably thought that the servants permitted the one-winged eagle who served directly under him would know of a place he might go. However, it seemed to be the other way around. Their faces made it clear that those who knew Kenzo best realized even more than anyone else how impossible it was for him to leave his room. Okay, so the servants are saying this is very unlike him.
僕たちにも見当がつきません。
Do they think Kenzo is dead?
ご存知の通り、親方様はあの書斎の中にお休みの場所からご不条まで全てを設けさせました。
Like, has he been chosen by the roulette?
親方様があの部屋をお出になることなどよっぽどのことがないか考えられません。
Very exceptional circumstances.
となるとなんやそのよっぽどのことがあったって考えるのが自然だっちゅうことにな
I
るん
mean,
か
is very likely.
まだそうと決まったわけではありません。とにかく気まぐれな方ですから、現状をご存知なくお一人で散歩をされている可能性もあります。仮にそうだとしたら、一刻も早く現状をお知らせしてご指示を仰がねばなりません。
I'm so sorry. The way I just like blasted my ears. Jesus Christ.
そうね。考えたくはないけど、お父様の身に何かあったのかもしれないしね。
I don't know why my audio just did that, but I'm so sorry. That's right. Although I don't want to think about it. Tell us about something that's happened to him, isn't it? Why are you giving that shit grin?
そのような不吉なことは考えたくもありません。
See now she's on X Games mode. No one had seen Kenzo since the 6 horrible corpses had been found. On top of that, the phones are broken, the radio wouldn't reach anyone, and there was no way to contact the police. I hope I didn't fuck up the audio. It's fine. It looked like the typhoon would leave tomorrow and a boat would come. But until then, no one could rely on anyone outside the island, nor could they escape the island. Everyone had lost their composure at the extremely sudden tragedy. A heavy silence and a sense of impatience. Ooh. Even though they needed to do something, they couldn't think of anything. Some of them became irritated, while others merely held their heads in their hands. but not one of them could explain what was occurring on this island of Rokkenjima. Rokkenjima. After that, we sat in the parlor and wordlessly chewed through the breakfast that Kumasawa-san had made. Of course, this was right after something like that had happened, so no one had any appetite. However, we realized that not eating would weaken our bodies. It would also be rude to Kumasawa-san, who made the breakfast. Girl, she'll be fine. Kumasawa-san had taken the tasteful Western vegetables, ones that Goda-san had probably special ordered for the purpose of some extravagantly fancy dish, and cooked them in a Japanese style, making them turn an unpleasant color. As to what Goda-san had been planning to cook with those ingredients, right then, I couldn't even imagine it. I would honestly kill for some soup right now. If I did think about it, If I did think about it, I would be reminded of the way Goda-san had died, and the inside of my mouth would be filled with sour taste. For the time being, everyone pretended to eat, but there was no hope of anyone making any headway into the meal. Then, everyone was brought up to speed on the current situation. First off, that Uncle Kraus, my dad, Kirie-san, and Tsudosa, Godo-san, and Shonen-san had been found in the Rose Garden storehouse as cruelly mutilated corpses, and that despite that, we were unable to use phones or radio, and still couldn't contact the police. So until the typhoon passed, there was nothing we could do. Furthermore, grandfather, who we had hoped might be able to show a little leadership in this kind of situation, had disappeared at some point. Grandfather could be the killer, but I don't think it's him because I think grandfather is playing against the killer. I.e., I don't even know if that's the right word. Because of the chess motifs, right? Because of the gamble, like the I'm betting against you. I don't think grandfather is the killer. Grandfather might not be alive though, is what I think. I was already suspicious about whether he was alive or not beforehand. And then when he talked to Natsuhi, that really threw me all the way off. Goda-san hadn't made breakfast, so grandfather's stomach must have been empty. And if he had just been taking a casual walk, by now he should have been stomping back to whine about how hungry he was. No one saw, I guess Maria was the only one in the house, and there's no way that she would have noticed if he would have walked out the front door. And yet, he hadn't appeared. There was more than a small chance that he had become caught up in the earlier crime. And that's another thing, is like, we don't know, we only know what is being told to us, right? One, this narrator could be lying. And then two, everyone is doing stuff when we can't see it, right? We can only see the people on the screen right at any given time. And there's too many goddamn people on this island to keep track of who's doing what. Aunt Natsuhi and Auntie Eva had said that on their return trip from going to see Kenzo, they had called out to him on every floor, looking for him, but were not able to find him. Okay. If you think about the timing of it all, it was probably best to think that he had been caught up in the crime. Definitely. If the culprit had taken the trouble to move the bodies of Dad and the rest, who we figured had been killed in the dining hall, all the way to the... Another thing? You know how heavy 6 bodies are to move? They could have walked in there themselves. But the killer had fucking help, bro. To move 6 bodies? To kill 6 people and move 6 bodies? Bruh. I'm sorry. Then maybe they had already killed grandfather, moved his body to some strange location, and we had simply not found it yet. And honestly... So we know the killer's not the cousins, right? including, I doubt it's Maria. There's no way, and Maria can't move 6 bodies unless she had help, right? You know who can move a body? Oh shit, Gray. Disappeared from his study unnoticed. Kinzo's study has everything from a bed to a toilet to a bathtub. It's extremely rare for him to go outside. However, he does sometimes go out for a walk on a whim without telling anybody, which on several occasions has led to a huge uproar throughout the house. He usually comes back as soon as he gets hungry. So it's not crazy for him to just leave. Okay, that's good to know. He could probably carry a body. You know who can't carry a body by himself? This person. Because we watched him struggle with that wheelbarrow. But if he had help... Okay, anyway. No one actually said it, but this theory seemed extremely convincing. The culprit had taken the trouble to move the bodies of Dad and the rest, who had been killed in the dining hall, all the way to the storehouse, and maybe they had already killed Grandfather, moved his body to some strange location, and we just hadn't found it yet. That's so likely. Honestly, there you go. Now, the thing that they're not realizing, though, is who did it, right? I guess we're all assuming it's another person. And it could totally be another person, right? It could be the lady in the portrait, but I'm highly inclined to think it's one of these people, one of the 18.
お父様も念入りに探さなければなりません。子供たちはこの部
They
屋
all
を出
have
ないように。
motive. One of the 18 minus the peasants.
エヴァさんと秀吉さんは申し訳ありませんが、ここで子供たちと一緒にいてください。
Who are you going with? We will go check that all the windows and doors are closed. We must also carefully search for father. Children, do not leave the room. Ava, Hideyoshi, stay with the kids. Nanjo, stay with the kids. See? Collusion! Don't play with me, bro. The kids didn't do it, right? They want them to stay with the kids and them to stay with the kids. So you and all the servants are gonna go look for grandfather. Okay. 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 Okay.
わかりました。ここでお待ちしています。
Ava and Hideyoshi? Just have Hideyoshi stay with the kids and take Ava. You know why? Because Ava's on your ass. Aunt Natsuki led the servants, Genji-san, Kumasawa-san, and Kanon-kun out of the parlor. See, that right there is already shady, bro. It's shady. All that was left was Auntie Ava, Uncle Hideyoshi, Dr. Nanjo, and the 4 of us children, for a total of 7 people.
みんなで仲良くテレビでも見て待ってよな。
They're probably gonna go move Kenzo's body because they probably know where it is.
しかし日曜日の午前中はろくな番組やっとらへんな。
Or go kill Kenzo while he's walking outside. Uncle Hideyoshi tried to stir out this gloomy atmosphere, acting cheerfully. No one close to them died. Could the killer be throwing it onto them?
ろくな番組見る見る。
Shannon died.
そうか。
That's George's CF.
マリアちゃんはテレビ見るか。じゃおじさんと一緒に見ような。
Maria was the only one who played along. Even though Maria had been told of her mother's death, she didn't show the slightest flicker in her emotions. Was 9 really this young in age? You know why? Because she thinks her mother is going to be revived. No one else is feeling the slightest bit like joining in, and they each sank into their sofas and let their minds go blank. And honestly, like, if I believed in this shit, I would be fine too.
兄貴聞いていいか。 なんだい。 さっき倉庫で
兄貴はシャノンちゃんの指輪の話をしたよな。あれ送ったのは兄貴か？
George didn't answer, but he hung his head and closed both of his eyes. There could be no clear response.
よせよパトラ。
Okay.
少しは察しろよ。
You are one to talk.
だな。悪いことを聞いたぜ。
そうさ。僕だよ。彼女に昨べ求婚したんだ。その時指輪を渡した。明日になったらそれを好きな指にはめて返事としてくれって気ざったらしいことを言ってね。
And that ring had been on the ring finger of Shannon's left hand.
私さ、数年前からシャドウに相談を受けてたぜ。ジョージ兄さんのことでさ。
なんて言ってたのかな。
シャノンは嘘をつくのが下手だったからよ。ジョージ兄さんのことを言ってるのはすぐにバレバレでさ。自分は使用人の身分だけど親しくしてもいいのだろうかとか。
Do they only see each other once a year?
男の人の好きそうなものは何かとか、どういう服を着たら喜ぶかとか、
Aww.
そんなことをいろいろとさ。なんつうのか、そのまあ焼けたぜ。
それが婚約指輪を渡されて、そこでおしまいかよ。
価値観は人それぞれだけどよ、男から求婚されるってのはある意味人生の到達点なんだと思うんだよ。
In the 80s, probably.
だからきっと
The economy was good back then.
昨夜のシャノンは心の底から、いや
In Japan, right?
生まれてから今までの中で一番幸せだったと思うぜ。
Jesus. I mean, I'm so happy for her. And so sad that she's no longer with us. George, without raising his head, sighed deeply. And maybe tears had risen to his eyes.
シャノンは昨べゲストハウスの当番だったらしいんだ。
Was she?
でもシャノンが僕と一緒にゲストハウスに帰るのを恥ずかしがってお屋敷に行ってしまった。
Bruh.
シャノンの気持ちを察しろよ。婚約指輪をもらえばどんなに予告されてたって普通は舞い上がっちまって頭は真っ白になっちまうぜ。
I feel like Shannon. Genji and Cannon know something. That's undeniable.
気恥ずかしくて仕方なかったんだろうよ。
それでシャノンは当番でないはずのお屋敷へ行き事件に巻き込まれてしまった。
Was she just at the wrong place at the wrong time?
僕があの日あの場所で指輪なんか渡さなければシャノンはサヨは事件に巻き込まれなかったんだ。
Honestly, even the fact that the schedules got changed, like all the servants going to the guest house and Goda going to the mansion. Maybe Saya wouldn't have gotten caught up in it, but whoever made that scheduling decision did that on purpose.
兄貴、それだけは違うぜ。断じて違う。だからそれ以上泣くんじゃねえ。
And was it Natsuki that made that scheduling decision? Which only, again, okay, my current theory right now is Natsuki plus the servants. Natsuki plus servant
バトラ
accomplices.
君、そっとしてあげなさい。
But I still could be anybody, minus cousins. After those words from Auntie Ava, I stopped talking to him. Misplaced words of comfort might actually hurt him. Jessica sat down to Aniki and quickly put an arm around him. Maybe only Jessica, who had known about Aniki and Shannon's love since the beginning, and who had been discussing that relationship with Shannon, could comfort George right now. I went over to Auntie Ava and sat down on the opposite sofa.
バトラ君は強いわね。
No, now's not the
も
time.
うだいぶしっかりしているように見えるわよ。
But I mean, it's pretty tough.
まあそのほら愛の深さが傷の深さじゃないですか。俺は別にあんなクソ親父どうしようが知ったことじゃないし、キリエさんは気の毒ですが、まあ本当の親ってわけじゃないですしね。
あら。という割にはさっきすっごく大泣きしてたわよ。
まあ育ての親に対する恩はあのくらい泣けば OK かと思いまして。
It was a big shock.
そのあたりの切り替えの速さやドライなあたりは本当にルドルフ譲りね。あの子は昔から激しく喜んだり悲しんだり怒ったりしたけれど、すぐにケロリと平静を取り戻したわ。
そんなことはないっすよ。俺だってまだまだ心のショックから立ち直れちゃいません。ただ俺がみんなと違うのは、それによってどういう感情が生み出されるかってことだと思います。
Yeah, Battler was like horrific shock and appall at the scene, and that someone would do that to somebody.
どういうこと？
Oh, well, let's get into it. I was acting much calmer than George and Jessica were. I like the speaking music, bitch. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for yelling. No, I'm not. That wasn't because my sadness was less intense and had already sprung back to normal. It was because my sadness had been gradually replaced by a different emotion. Yeah, we're gonna get to the bottom of it,
って気持
bitch.
ちなんすよ。どこのドイツがこんなことをしやがったのか。横っ面も一発お見舞いしてやらないことには
Period.
腹の血が収まらねえんです。
They're having a conversation with Natsuki next door. That was what I really wanted to do. It was like I couldn't allow myself to just sit here overwhelmed with sadness and hugging my knees.
親父たちが殺されて以降、この島は台風に包まれたままです。つまりこれだけの上等を決めてくれやがった野郎はまだこの島の中にいるってことです。
Correct.
そういうことになるわね。
She's pretty bright too.
暗い森のどこかに身を潜めているのかしら。
Not as bright as Kyrie. I wish she was here. I ain't gonna lie. I felt like I had a very similar conversation with Kyrie the night before. That's right. After the letter from the person who claimed to be Beatrice appeared at the dinner table last night, we had talked about whether or not a 19th person actually exists.
エヴァおばさん、
Now let's get back to it.
この殺人、昨夜のベアトリーチェの手紙と何か関連があるんでしょうかね。
ああ、例の？さあ、どうかしらね。あの手紙は
お父様が遺産問題に絡みたくて出した怪文書という見方で兄弟は一致したんだけれども、それと今朝の事件に関係があるかは今の段階では分かりかねるわね。
I really wouldn't say impossible.
あの手紙、本当にベアトリーチェなんて魔女がマリアに渡したんすかね。
Like, no one has looked at that epitaph. And if they could, it would be a very... It's such an easy link. Was that letter really given to Mary by someone called Beth?
まさか全部お父様の仕組んだ茶番でしょ。
That's a good point, right?
シャノンちゃんあたりに肖像画のドレスを着させてマリアちゃんを騙したんでしょ。
I really think this is what it is. This is the second time they've said this.
お父様らしい手の込みすぎたいたずらだと思うけど。
I just think they took it a little too seriously.
ゆうべキリエさんとベアトリーチェは実在するんだろうかって話をしたんですけど、キリエさんも俺たち18人の中にベアトリーチェがいるだろうと言ってましたね。
Also, if grandfather had that big ass fucking shrine dedicated to Beatrice, like, he definitely has that dress somewhere. All I had to do was find it and put it on.
そんなの当然じゃない。この島には私たちしかいないのよ。なら私たちの中の誰かがベアトリーチェを語ったに決まってるじゃない。
Again, I agree. I think so.
この島には俺たち以外はいないっすか。
Unless, I mean, it is a big island.
当然でしょ。私たち以外の誰がここにいるっていうの。この島には私たちしかいない。
If that's true, then yeah.
18
absolutely.
人しかいない。ならベアトリーチェを語るのも18人の中の誰かしかいないじゃない。
Carrier-san had denied that there was a 19th person by flipping over the chessboard. And that the witch wants us to think that there's a 19th person by writing that letter saying, oh, there's a 19th person, and sending it anonymously. Right. Even though Auntie Ava hadn't constructed an argument that complicated, her opinion at least was the same. Except, if that is the case, our situation starts to look very ugly. At the time of Beatrice's letter, we were able to dismiss the matter as just someone's prank. However, if we deny the existence of a 19th person at this point, matters are not so trivial. In other words,
19人目がいないなら親父たちを殺した犯人も18人の中にいるってことになっちまうじゃないですか。
correct.
つまり今この屋敷にいる誰かが殺したってことになる。
Yup. Auntie Ava smiled meaningfully. It looked like Auntie thought that this conclusion should have been obvious from the very beginning. See? She's quick. The women in this family are quick, except Rosa.
犯人は倉庫の
but
中に6人の遺体を運び込んだわ。でもよく倉庫の中に運び込めたわよね。
the storehouse key that is in the servant's room.
あのシャッターは常に閉められていて施錠されていたそうよ。つまり倉庫内に運び込むにはシャッターの施錠を
And then
開け
to
る
put
必
the
要
key
があった。
back. Don't play with me.
わかる？
たまたまその日シャッターが開けっぱなしになっ
No,
てた可
be
能
fucking
性
for real. There's literally a blood magic circle on it. It's the craziest prank. You're having the craziest prank pulled on you.
使用人たちは常に閉めていると言ってたの。
And you're falling for it is the worst part.
鍵を使用人室から持ち出さなくては倉庫は絶対に開けられない。
鍵は使用人室の一つしかないんすかね。
Is the only key.
源
Yeah.
氏さんはそうだと言ってるわ。ということは
And
犯人はそのたった一つの倉庫の鍵のありかを知っていて持ち出した。
And why the hell would any of the siblings know where the fuck that is, right? Like Natsuki and the servants, bro. And he told on himself, too.
カノン君が使用人室に鍵を戻すところを見たわ。壁にびっしりと鍵がかけられていて、とても素人にどこに何がかけてあるのかわからなかった。
What's your plan? How are we gonna get off the island, bro? I need to... I'm sticking with you!
犯人はその中から倉庫の鍵を見事選び出したの。
Unless she knows all this. No, she's just very observant.
しかも札も何もついていない鍵を手にして、バラ庭園裏にある倉庫の鍵だと理解した。ついでに言うと、倉庫の場所すら理解していた。もっとはっきり断言する。犯人は使用人室の内部にも熟知している。
Get it! Her argument was extremely plain and clear. If the bodies had been thrown somewhere in the bushes of the rose garden, no explanation would have been necessary. However, the one key to the storehouse was in the servant room, and stored with a large group of other keys, such that a novice would not be able to tell them apart. This meant that the culprit was someone who was used to going in and out of the servant room and knew well where the key was. The family didn't normally go into the servant room, which meant that it's a motherfucking servant. Come on, Battler. You're so close.
悪いけど、それ以上はおばさんも言えないわよ。でも、一つだけ教えられることがあるわ。
なんすか？
My stomach is rumbling and you can hear it. I'm so sorry that I said what I said. Yes, bitch! Okay, Ava's winning the Mother Olympics.
だってそうでしょ。食堂にいた兄さんたち4人を一度に襲って殺し、合計6人分の遺体をようようバラ庭園の向こうの倉庫まで運んで、悪趣味な化粧と落書きを施して。
Makeup. Scribble that disgusting makeup. Does Ava know about this? Like, I wonder if she knows about this. Like, did she know what was gonna happen? This might be beyond the scope, but like, is that why she went back with Hideyoshi? Like, her and Hideyoshi left. So I wonder if she's like observant, or did she know this was going to happen? Again, no one is free from suspicion.
これだけのことを単独犯で行えるはずもないでしょ。
I agree though. I came to that same conclusion. Kill them all at once. Yeah, I guess. It was impossible. It might not have been if a single person spent enough time on it, but that would have taken ages. It was probably best to think that a significant number of people had been part of it. Yeah, this is a plot, bitch. It's not just one. Among Us.
ってことは、エヴァおばさんは使用人の人たちがみんなグルだろうって言ってんすか？
Bro, I've been saying this since 6 hours ago.
静かになさいな。憶測で言っちゃ悪い。
Which means where is it gonna go from here?
それにもし本当にそうだったらどうするつもり？彼らは私たちを生かして返さないでしょう。
That's true. We gotta keep this on the DL.
しかも兄さんたち4人をやすやすと殺した相手なのよ。
Yeah, Kraus and Shannon and Goda. Asterisk. Because she said scribbled that disgusting makeup. Like their heads weren't smashed in.
今この部屋に残っていてまともに戦えそうな人間はうちの家族の3人にせいぜいバトラ君で4人ってところ。
Oh, she said if we need to fight, be motherfucking ready.
状況は昨晩と何も変わらない。
Cause it's still on go mode. That's what the fuck I'm talking. Mother Olympics. See, she pissed me off with the way she was coming to Natsuhi, but she's still a mother. Don't play with her.
つまり犯人にとっ って残る私たちを皆殺しにするなんて簡単なことなのよ。
And honestly, maybe she needed to come at Natsuhi's ass because I don't like how Natsuhi's moving on day 2, bro. I have been playing detective with Auntie Ava out of a desire to expose the person who had killed Dad and the rest before the police did. If I could manage to skillfully penetrate the culprit's identity, I wanted to stick the evidence in their face. I'd gotten it in my head that if I did not, the culprit would give up and surrender, just like in one of those detective movies. If we're being 8 billion, bro, I'm pretty sure if someone is able to discover the hidden gold of this contract, if this hoe is playing a prank on us, right? And the prank is going according to this, right? 6 chosen by the key. They're gonna keep going, right? Until you find the gold. Like, she's pretty... Okay, yeah, you could stop this by finding the killer, right? But you could also stop it by finding the gold. And I'm assuming instead of trying to figure out who out of these motherfucking 18 people are an accomplice to the killer, I would just find the gold, bro. I would just find the gold. I would be like, siblings, cousins, we need to find this damn gold. Because I don't trust nobody. However, the culprit only surrenders there because they're in a situation where resisting would be futile. Yeah, this might be too planned out for you. You kind of come in, you're bringing a knife to a gunfight. The culprits behind these incidents on the island were far from helpless, and might even be able to massacre all the remaining people on the island. Y'all don't even know how the 6 died. Like, that's... What? And on top of that, this island was like a giant locked room, cut off from the outside world by the typhoon. So they have the full day until tomorrow to kill, scheme, and cover up their handiwork. The culprit planned out the weather, bro. Like, you're kind of done. In short, we weren't in the kind of safe atmosphere where we could entertain ourselves by playing detective. The people that are cooking your food are in on it. You're done. I'm sorry. You're done. On the contrary, we were at a stage where we had to be scared stiff. I find that motherfucking gold. Since playing detective might displace the culprits and cause them to repeat another mass murder. I guess. See? She told you what you had to do. The culprit said, I will stop if you find the gold.
でも私は使用人の人たちをまだ信用できないわね。それに私は使用人だけを疑ってるわけじゃないわ。
Come on, mother.
さらに黒幕がいるかもしれないと思ってるわ。
黒幕？おお。どうしてですか？
勘よ。使用人は書いて字のごとし。
Furniture.
誰かに使用されて手足となる存在よ。殺されたのは後宮家の親族ばかり。ならその結果で利害が発生する人間が関わるのは当然。
This was also plain and clear. It was like, I think 13 people had to die according to the riddle. But then it also says that, like, everyone will die at the end. And they're different episodes, meaning that different people die, probably, or are even the killer. So, like, I wonder if the order does matter, like, or who is being killed, right? You assure me a family, we're currently right in the middle of discussing how to distribute inheritance if grandfather died. If this followed the formulaic plot used to death by many classic mystery novels, it would definitely be a crime by someone with ties to the Ashurmia family, and it was also entangled in the inheritance problem. Auntie had probably also read a few books in that genre. Her theory did have a few one-sided conclusions to it, but it was a run-of-the-mill idea that anyone would surely hit upon. I think anyone would have suspected the servants, even if their logic was different. Very fair. especially the talk revolving around the key to the shutter. That was enough to make it easy to suspect strongly that one of the servants was involved in the case, period. That's about as far as I got.
だからなぜか気に入らねえんすよね。
He's like, it's too easy.
気に入らないって何の話？
あ、いえいえ、こっちの話っす。
I dodged the question by joking, but I couldn't wipe out the sense of unease I felt inside me. Because the reasoning we had arrived at was altogether too simple. Yeah, it's too easy. Reasoning that anyone could... Damn, he's like, I want a fucking challenge. And I just couldn't accept that. If I tried flipping over the chessboard like I'd learned from Kirie-san, that was exactly why it was impossible for the servants to be the culprits. Ugh, I don't know about that. If the servants really had been the culprits, they wouldn't have hidden the bodies in a place that was tied to themselves. I think they wanted you to find them. Certainly not the Rose Garden storehouse of all places, whose key they themselves controlled. The police would probably immediately pursue whoever had been in control of the key. I don't think the servants thought it would even get that far. Like, I think the servants did it, first of all. But second of all, I think they knew that no one would start trying to find the gold. And I think they knew that no one would stop them. So I don't think they're gonna get that far. I think the servants are gonna win. That would create a danger for exposure. But even if the servants win, from the way they were talking as furniture, I think they also know that some of them will die. You know what I mean? So I think they're in on it, but I also think that they will be victims of it. Which is why I think they're freaked out for a separate reason on top of this whole thing being weird as shit. That would create a danger for exposure. If we were to assume that they were the culprits, they had no reason to carry the bodies into the storehouse. Did they expect us to think that and so put them in the storehouse deliberately? No, that definitely didn't make sense. When the police come and inspect the site, all kinds of things will probably become clear. No matter how deeply careful the culprits were in carrying out murder, some kind of traces will definitely be found. I'm telling you, I don't think it's gonna get that far. So in summary, they have everything to lose and nothing to gain. Or maybe, right, because the servants are serving, maybe they're victims and culprits, right? If you think about it this way and look at the game from the culprit side, it feels like there's no point in advertising the location of the corpses. Again, I feel like they wanted the corpses to be found. Like, the servants are kind of just carrying out the acts. If the bodies were found, a report would be sent to the police. The remaining people would become more cautious, and they could start looking for who is responsible. Anyway, none of these things would make the culprit feel any more comfortable. Just like the words of the main character's mother in a novel I read recently called Higoroshi no Nakokoro ni. A mystery story has 4 parts: introduction, development, turn, and conclusion. And so to commit the perfect crime, it is essential to eliminate the introduction. Right now, no one knew where grandfather was. We didn't know whether he had already become a victim or if he was one of the culprits. Right? But this state of confusion had to be beneficial to whoever did this. By blatantly advertising the bodies to us and declaring, hey, there's a murder case going on, the culprit had absolutely nothing to gain. That's interesting, isn't it? Flipping the chessboard around, why would the culprit want to advertise this massive prank that they're playing, right? To get them to participate in solving the riddle. And then my question is, why do they want them to solve the riddle? Like, we need to get back to this fucking riddle, bro, I swear. Right, that was where we could flip over the chessboard. So this blatant advertisement of the bodies was itself the culprit's goal, correct? So it may well be that to the culprit, having the 6 corpses be present there meant more than the deaths themselves. That's a very interesting way of looking at it. Specifically, what they're trying to say is you need to focus on the prank. And that's kind of like what I was thinking. Like, I don't think the six people that it is I think it really could have been anybody. Which is why it like really spits into the idea of the roulette. It's more about the fact that 6 people had to die to match the epitaph. In other words, the culprit wanted to display these murders. To who? To us. It was a message. Bruh, I'm saying. The culprit was trying to shove something in our faces. Especially that brutal method of killing. I didn't know what that could be. Otherwise, the culprit could have just left the bodies, like, in the mansion. At the current time, none of us could grasp anything from this vulgar mass murder except malice. Malice towards everyone, perhaps. Each one of the survivors had some kind of connection to one of the 6 who had been killed. Uncle Krause's death brought sorrow to Jessica's family. The deaths of Dad and Kyrie-san brought sorrow to me, while Auntie Rose's death brought sorrow to Maria. Goda-san's death probably dealt a shock to his fellow servants, doubt it. And Shen and Chen's death brought grief to George, who had proposed to her, and to Kanon-kun, who had loved her like an older sister. Everyone now on this island had received an equal amount of sadness. Auntie Ava had claimed that the servants were definitely in cahoots, but then how could you explain the deaths of Goda-san and Shannon-chan? See, you're making an assumption there, I think. And by this argument, the grief caused by the success hit everyone but Auntie Ava and Uncle Hideyoshi. So he's trying to say, you guys are the most suspicious? It was very possible to doubt Auntie Ava herself, who was acting like she was outside the net of suspicion and who might have been trying to point that suspicion at the servants. We gotta use our logic, honey. In the first place, she had managed to avoid suspicion and place it on the servants with that argument about the key to the shutter. But if you looked at it from the perspective of motive, about who would gain something from the murders, Auntie Ava's name floated to the top of the list. Sure. 3 of the siblings are dead, and 1 is remaining, and it's the one to benefit the most.
バトラ君が何を考えてるか
You
おばさん
better.
わかるわよ
You better.
What?
Gonna say you think it's me, huh?
嫌だな。内緒にしててくださいよ。あんなことやこんなことで頭をいっぱいにしてたなんて。
私がこの殺人で一番得
She's already considered it. Of course. She's the easiest one to blame. She's super greedy. She's second in line. She was never going to be the head. She had to scheme her way to sneak George into being the head. And all her siblings are dead. And she hates all of them. So, like, she's obviously, like, the one who would benefit the most from what just happened. Which is what I think the culprit knows as well. Because I think the culprit is still the freaking servants, bro.
どうせ疑われるだろうから先に自己申告しておくわ
You better. I tried to dodge this conversation by joking around, but it looked like it hadn't worked.
遺産は兄弟の数で分割する
Damn.
でも今や4兄弟は私一人後宮家の全財産は全て私のものになるの
秀吉おじさんが聞いたら予算買えばシャレにならんっていうところっすね
That's funny.
ごめんね。どう取り繕ったってどうせ疑われるだろうからふざけただけよ。
Honestly, I get it. Like, and ironically, I don't think it's her. I think that would be too easy.
だからこの殺
Well,
人
I
は
take it back.
私の立場から見れば私を疑わせるためのものではないかと思ってるの。
Yeah, that's very reasonable. But it could be her.
困ったことに夕べのアリバイは弱いわ。
Because, yeah, you and Hideyoshi went back early before midnight.
聞かせてもらってもいいですか？夕べのことを。
バトラ君たちも知っている通り、兄弟が遺産をどう食いちぎり合うかという話し合いは深夜まで続いたわ。でも何時まで続いたかは知らない。私と主人は朝が早かったからね。もう眠くて24時を過ぎたあたりで抜けさせてもらったの。そしてゲストハウスに戻って
They
休ん
slept
だ
in the
わ。
guest house and not in the mansion. That's probably why they were spared.
それを秀吉おじさん以外の誰かに証明できるっすか？
And was Shannon picked because she went back to the mansion and those two went to the guest house? Bruh.
いやいや、別にエヴァおばさんを疑ってるわけじゃないっすよ。
He does not like his aunt, his
あ
aunts and
ら
uncles.
どうだか証明になるかわからないけれど、ゲストハウスに戻ってきた時、源氏さんに出迎えを受けてタオルはいるかと聞かれたわ。だから私たちがゲストハウスに戻ってきた時間は24時過ぎだと証明してくれると思うわよ。
You need a servant to confirm your alibi.
もっとも私の仮説通り、
Right.
使用人たちもグルなのだとしたらこんなのアリバイにならないけどね。
Right.
確かにそうっすね。ってことは、俺、今、真犯人と推理ごっこをしてるってことになるんすか？
You know, I like how they're both they love some dark humor. Me too.
でも私の名誉のために言わせてもらうけど、遺産目当てだったならこんな変な殺人はしないわよ。
I love that. She's like, if I did it, this isn't how I would do it.
だって遺産相続権を喪失させるだけならどんな死に方だって構わない。
She's like, I would have just shot him. God damn
む
it.
しろ事故死に見せかけた方がスマートでしょ。
Yeah, and this is a whole like, yeah, honestly, if she did do it, why would she put the blame on herself? That's honestly like the biggest. I think she might know something. I'm not saying she doesn't know something, because sometimes people know things. Battler might be the only person that just don't know, like, really, because Battler hasn't been here in 6 years. There's like 6 years of like nuance that he could be missing in this family dynamic. Like, he literally hasn't seen these people in forever, right? And this right here is honestly her biggest reason why I didn't think she did it. It's just not her style.
使用人たちを抱き込んで周到に計画していたならなおさらそうするでしょうよ。
確かにそうっすね。
Like, the person who did this is someone who knows about the witch and is playing into it.
営利で人を殺すなら、それは常に殺人に見せるべきではない。
そういうことよ。だからおばさんは今からとてもブルーな気持ちなわけ。警察には黒幕扱いされて散々調べられるでしょうね。
She's so smart. And honestly, to have to scheme her way into like a cushy number 2 with her like charming husband, she's kind of winning. Like, in the worst, it's like worst person you know is winning. It's kind of crazy. I have to respect her.
やだやだ
She's like, damn, they're gonna come for me. Auntie Ava shrugged with a bitter smile. And she's so, like, blasé about it all, too. And I think that's why I have to stand. Like, she's awful. Whenever she's, like, cool, calm, and collected, she's incredible. Whenever she's pressed, it's like, ooh. Just like it was easy to think of the servants as suspicious, it was also very easy to think of Auntie Ava as suspicious. I think she's in the clear. If we flip over the chessboard, does that mean it was impossible for the culprit to be the easily doubtable Auntie Ava? I think that's true, I guess. Like, it's not a complete, she's not completely out, but it's less likely looking like her. However, if that logic could pass so easily, then motive wouldn't count for anything. No, that can't be right. Knowing the motive should be a big clue towards knowing the culprit. So you're correct, but again, he has not been here for 6 years, so there's so much context that he could be missing. So I don't think you should go about this based on motive. I think you should go about this based on what is logically happening. This is why murderers throughout history have tried to ensure their motive will not be found out, by skillfully complicating the incidents. And honestly, if y'all are this stuck already and 6 people are dead, I guarantee. And there are 8 episodes in this bitch. We will not find this motive out until episode 5. We won't. We simply will not find this motive until episode 5. Until the answer arcs or whatever. 5, 6, 7, 8. Because all this is going to be shrouded in other bullshit. I don't know. Yeah. Real. Every time I flip over the chessboard, it keeps flipping from front to back and back to front. Were my thoughts closing in on the truth? Or... I feel like Auntie Ava didn't want to talk any more than that, so I headed to the window, folding my arms so that I could cool my head a little. Okay, yeah, let's take a break from thinking. Super real.